YouTube photographer Ronnie Sweat and in this tutorial I'll be showing you my complete editing process in Photoshop. So if at all you want to learn how to use Photoshop from the very start to the very end, this is the right video for you. So simply like this video and don't forget to subscribe. So I'll just come and I import my image into Photoshop, or just locate my photos that I want to edit. Just right click and come open with, and I'm just going to come and open with Photoshop, and it's going to open up the camera raw filter since this is a raw file taken using the Canon 6D camera. So the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to correct the lighting and contrast issues regarding this very image. And in this case, I'll take the highlights down and take the whites down, add some contrast to the image, and open up the shadows slightly, just like that. Then I'll take up the temperature slightly up because I love to edit warm images. And after doing that, I'll just come down to my color mixer tool and come the hues, and I'm going to make the greens a little bit to the aquas, and I'll make the yellows also towards the green color, and that is going to make the image pop. I'll come to the saturation and simply take down the saturation of the greens and also take down the saturation of my yellows. Remember, saturation is the intensity of a given color. And after processing this, if at all you have a number of images, you can just come and copy the settings right here and paste them on every image that you have opened within your timeline. So for my case, I'm using one image for this tutorial, and I'll just come and hit open the image into Photoshop to do the final adjustments. And the very first thing I tend to do when it comes to editing in Photoshop is simply cropping the image in the ratio of 4:5. You always have to take into consideration the purpose or use of the photos that you want to edit. So mine are basically for social media and specifically Instagram. I'll just come right here and select the crop tool and choose a ratio of 4:5 or 8:10 and drag up just like that until when the image is fitting correctly. Hit enter to approve the crop settings. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do frequency separation. And before I even do the frequency separation, I'll first of all get a uniform skin color for the skin tones before I even proceed. So what I will do for this case, I'll just come to my gradient map right there and come and select the gradient icon. And after selecting it, hide the gradient layer by clicking right here. So I've selected the gradient icon, left click once on the color, and what I'll do in this case, I'll just come and sample color from the skin tone. So I'll just get this stopper right here and click on the color, zoom into the image by using Ctrl plus on the keyboard, and choose a darkest point of the skin tone of the model and hit OK. Just come to the brightest point by clicking on this pointer right there. Click once again and look for the brightest point of the skin tone and click once again, hit OK. Come to the midpoint and now type in the location to 50 so that you can have a perfect midtone. Left click on the color and choose the midpoint or the midtone for the skin and come and simply hit OK, just like that. And in this case, we have mapped the skin tone in this gradient. Hit OK, activate this and come and change the blend mode from normal and change it all the way down to color. Select the white layer mask and simply press Ctrl I, or you can use Command I on the keyboard to invert the effect. Come and get the brush tool and make sure you have black and white on these two color swatches, or you can press D on the keyboard to reset if at all you have any other random color. Make sure white is the foreground color, and after selecting the brush, make sure the hardness is set all the way to 0 and soft round brush is selected. Opacity and the flat 100%. I'm just going to come and I paint on the areas that have the model skin so that I can create a uniform skin for the model. So to reduce or increase on the size of the brush tool, you can use the open and close brackets on the keyboard, and that is going to help you increase or decrease on the size of the brush. So I'm just going to paint on the skin so that I can create a uniform skin tone or skin color for the model in this case. So I'm just going to come and only paint on the skin. So don't mind if at all I tend to paint extras, because I'm going to be showing you how you can easily eliminate or rub away the extras that you have painted. So in this case, you can start to have painted part of the background and part of the outfit. So just come and switch the brush back to black. Reduce on the size of the brush and simply rub away the extras. So black is going to rub away the extras that we don't want to color regarding the model's skin tone. So just do that and also paint away the extras from these other areas. So when you're done working on the skin and coloring it, right now we have created a kind of uniform skin tone for our model in this case. So after we have created this, you can say before, after. And if at all it is too much, just come to the opacity right here and reduce on the opacity, because I felt like that was a little bit too much. So I'll go with around 60%. That's the before, after. So after coloring this very image, the next thing is going to be working on the skin and doing the skin retouching. So in order to do a skin retouching, I'll create a stamp visible layer by pressing Shift Alternate Control E on the keyboard. Then for mark, you can use Shift Option Command E on the keyboard, create a stamp visible layer. And after creating it, this is more of a screenshot of everything that we have done below here. So just come and create 2 more layers by pressing Ctrl J twice, or you can use Command J and name this to low frequency and name the upper layer to high frequency. So in this step, we are just basically going to be doing the frequency separation and working on the skin. So in order to work on the skin, in this case, just come and hide the high frequency layer. Now come and select the low frequency layer. Come to filter and come to blur and come down to Gaussian blur. So with this, just come and look at the skin and take the radius all the way down to 0.1 and start taking up the radius up to a point when you just starting to lose out on the skin detail. So just stop at that point. So for this case, I'll just go with a radius of at 5. That is when I'm just starting to lose out on the skin details, and I'll stop at that point, hit OK, select the high frequency layer, now activate it, then come to image and I'll come down to apply image, and simply, since this is an 8-bit image, I'll just come and select the low frequency layer, a blend mode of subtract, the scale is to offset 128, measure opacity is at 100%, and preserve transparency and mask cannot check. I'll just come right here to the invert option and make sure it is not turned on and hit OK. Change the blend mode from normal and change it all the way down to linear light right there. And after doing that, I'll put these 2 layers in a group by selecting both layers and pressing Ctrl G to put them in a group. Open up my group and select the low frequency layer right there. And come and get the mixer brush tool. If at all you don't have the mixer brush tool, you can right click right here and look for your mixer brush tool. Mine is around here, and if at all you can't find yours below here, find it under the brushes. So for settings I tend to use, I come and make sure the hardness is at 0 and make sure clean brush is selected right here. And also make sure the option that says clean the brush after each and every stroke has been selected with the weight of 9%, load 75%, mix at 90, flat 100%. Make sure sample all layers is not turned on. I'll just come and hide the high frequency layer right there. And with the brush tool selected, make sure that the caps lock is not turned on by clicking on it. So I'll just come and I start brushing on the skin, just like that. So I'll just come and brush on the skin, just like that. And now you can see that we are now working on the skin and blending the skin, just like that. So I'm basically retouching or editing the skin and creating a uniform skin tone, or creating a uniform skin tone transitions in this case. So I just come and I mix like that. And as you can notice that I am editing at a distance or retouching at a distance, because in the end this helps me save quite a lot of time regarding my Photoshop workflow. So I'll just come and edit just like that. Increase on the size just like that. So to increase on the size of the brush, you can use the open and close brackets on the keyboard. So I'll zoom into the face of the model, reduce on the size of the brush, and I mix the colors. So I'll just come and mix those colors just like that and create a harmonious transition between the skin tones just like that. So I'll come to the neck area and also work on the neck area just like that by blending those colors in those areas. Come and also work on the face of the model. I'll also work on the face of the model just like that and blend the uneven skin tones right here. So I'll just come and mix those skin tones and blend them just like that. You can see this is going to make the image look better at the end of the process. Reduce on the size and mix these areas. So basically we are trying to mix the uneven skin tone transitions within the image and creating that nice and harmonious transition just like that. You can see that we are just painting and evening out the skin tones. So for full body images, basically you don't do so much. It is more of just brushing around and letting go. Don't spend a lot of time trying to edit full body images unless otherwise. So I'm just going to blend just like that. And right now I'm done working on the face, and I'll come and turn back the texture or high frequency layer and zoom out to see my results. And you can see this is the image before after. We have now retouched the skin. So what I tend to do after doing this frequency separation, I tend to do eye whitening. So I'll just come to the adjustments and create a hue and saturation adjustment layer and take down the saturation all the way to around -75. Make sure the white layer mask is selected and press Ctrl I, or you can use Command I on the keyboard, and come back and get the normal brush tool. Make sure the mode is set to normal, opacity and the flat 100%. Make sure the hardness is set to 0 and soft round brush is selected. With white as the foreground color, I'll zoom into the image just like that by using Ctrl plus and reduce on the size and paint on the white area of the eye. So you can use the same technique for teeth whitening. So I'll just come and paint on the teeth just like that, or the eyes in this case. And in this case, you can see before and after we have just whitened the eyes of our model in this case. So after I've done all that, I'll just come and create a selective color adjustment layer so that I can simply enhance the blacks. So I'll just come and select the blacks right here, take up the black slider and also cool it down just a little bit to add a touch up of the blacks and make them look better. So after I've edited the image, you can see the overall before and after for the retouching process of this very image. So I'll put this in a group. This is for the Photoshop. So this is the before after. The image is popping, and the next thing is going to be saving the image so that it doesn't change in color when we post it or print it out. Simply come right here to File, Export, and come to Export As. So when you come to Export As, it's going to open up this window. Make sure the format is set to JPEG and the quality at 100%. Make sure the sample is set to bicubic sharper, and also make sure you check these two options, that is convert sRGB and also embed color profile, and simply export the image. So I'll just come and hit export and save the image wherever I want to save it, and simply hit save, and Photoshop is going to save that image as a very nice and sharp image. So this is it for this video, and if at all you have enjoyed this, simply like this video and don't forget to subscribe if at all you're watching and you're not subscribed yet to this channel. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in yet more amazing videos, and don't forget to keep practicing and also keep creating.